Back in 2019, I released a video showing you guys how to cross peppers and create a whole new pepper variety. In that video, I crossed quite a few different peppers, but there was one in particular that I was most interested in. And I thought it was about time to do a bit of a follow-up. So that's what this video is all about. The cross that I'm talking about is, of course, the Piri Piri crossed with the lemon drop. And it's been a heck of a challenging cross to do. Let's take a look inside the grow shed and see how it's doing. I have, of course, been updating you guys over the last year and a half about the progress of that plant, but it's been intermingled with some of my other videos, so I thought it was about time I do a dedicated video on this. Let's have a look. As I mentioned, it has been an incredibly difficult cross. A lot harder than I kind of expected in the beginning, but to be honest, I think that'll make it so much more rewarding once we get it to a more stabilized state. So obviously it's still at F1 at the moment. It took me about 50 seeds, if I remember correctly, to actually get one to get beyond the first maybe week or so. When they were germinating, they would just die. But eventually I got one to germinate properly and grow into a healthy plant. Now, even from the very beginning, this plant has been a strange one. When it first started growing, the leaves were a really strange shape. Some were furry, some not. It had a real mishmash of different qualities that you'd get from different types of peppers. So very interesting and something that's exciting to me, because you never know what you're going to get at the end of this. And when I show you what we have behind me, you'll see what I mean, because it's still surprising me to this day. So as I said, I planted about 50 seeds. I got one to finally germinate, and I started growing that inside the house. I grew it inside the house for about a month and a half before I decided to bring it out here into the grow tent and put it under some stronger lights and in a proper hydroponics ebb and flood system. And I actually made a video showing how I built that ebb and flood system. So if you want to go check that out, I will link up above or down below in the description. But that system is the exact same one that's running back there. I haven't made any changes to it since that video, and it's testament to the design. It works great, so I stand by it. It took months before we actually got a pepper to start. Now, the thing is, I was getting a lot of flowers, and those flowers were actually pollinating. They would start a little pepper, and then it would fall off. And that was happening constantly for about, must have been about 2 months, 3 months it was doing that, and it was highly frustrating. All I wanted was a pepper to actually develop beyond that little early stage when it was a tiny little thing. Thankfully it did, and we got a little pepper forming, and another surprise, it was a purple pepper. Now, I think that's more to do with the lights. When you get strong light, sometimes leaves and peppers can react to that light by going a darker shade, sometimes a purple type color. And I think that's what happened here. But it has kind of ripened, and it remained very small. But I'll show you that pepper over there. But there's a few others that I'm going to be able to show you as well. So without further ado, let's go take a look behind me at what's going on with that plant. The plant is looking healthy. I do trim it back every now and then when it gets above that canopy level there. I don't want it to go too high, so I just keep it about that level, and probably could trim a bit of this back. There's still some interesting things going on with the leaves. You can see this weird shape over there. If the leaves of the next generation of this plant can also be pretty funky like this, I'll be quite happy, because that is certainly quite different to what you'd see on a typical lemon drop or even a Piri Piri. Yeah, they do look very different to what a typical pepper leaf might look like. Now, I have been attacked by aphids. I have got them under control, I believe, but I can see at the back there's a bit of an aphid infestation. We'll take a closer look at that, but that's not looking healthy. I'm probably going to have to cut back that entire branch. Over here is our little ripe pepper, and look how tiny that is. I was getting excited about this. I thought it was going to grow into a nice large pepper, but unfortunately it didn't. But that looks like it has ripened, so it looks like it will be red peppers, although you never know with some of the others that are coming through. And there are others coming through. So let's have a look at those, because they look quite different to that one. Over here is another one coming through, and again, it looks quite small. It does not look like any Piri Piri that I've seen before, or a lemon drop, to be honest. But it's starting off much wider at the base there than the other one did. And there's a couple like that as well. So let me try and find another one to show you. So over here is another one looking quite similar to that one I just showed you, but it's green underneath, a little bit of a purple tinge, again probably because of the light, but that's also looking rather strange. Very, very odd. These things never really go as smoothly as you might assume at first, but it is certainly an adventure and I'm enjoying doing it. I'm definitely going to be crossing some more chilies and we'll see how we get on with them, but for now let's just hope we get onto the second generation of this plant. I will keep you updated on the progress of my plant. Those two new chilies that have come through, I'm really hoping they're going to grow into something that will provide viable seeds so I can grow this on. The little red ripe one is unlikely to have any seeds in it, and even if it does, they are not going to be viable, so I'm not even going to try. It has been challenging, but also rewarding to see this progress, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next couple of generations are going to look like. So I hope that you'll stay subscribed, or if you want, make sure you do subscribe so that you can get some updates as this progresses. If you are thinking of doing your own cross, don't hesitate to do it. It is fantastic, it is rewarding, it is something that requires a little bit of patience, so don't expect results straight away, but it really is fun, and if you get something decent at the end of it, then it just makes it all the better. So have a look at my earlier video on how to cross chilies. It is a pretty easy process and almost anyone can do it if you have some interesting chilies in your garden. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay spicy.